Have we lost control of AI? That's a question that will get you to click a video, and thank you for clicking. Now today we're going to look at this video that came and comes from a very credible source, my favorite YouTuber, Hank Green. Okay, he's not actually my favorite YouTuber, but he's up there.
Just 3 years after the launch of ChatGPT, AI agents can now win gold at the International Math Olympiad, book your flight, and code a functioning app from scratch.
So those are the things that AI is doing right now that we don't understand. Guys, we have to realize that AI is computer. Computer is made mostly of rocks and these elements. So the fact that we as human beings with our little noggins have found a way to make rocks think is extremely revolutionary. The fact that we're able to do this is almost superhuman. We are gods in a way.
This means people can train models to do all kinds of useful things, from helping with medical research to building accessibility tools. But the reality is, it's much easier to strip away alignment, meaning someone could have the AI work on literally any project, benign or not. You can understand why a lot of people want to stop that kind of thing until we've worked out all the kinks. And there are some ways that researchers are trying to crack the problem. The first is seeing if we can shine some light inside those black boxes with what's called mechanistic interpretability. The basic idea is to peel back the layers of the lasagna of math to see which parameters become active when a model responds to certain inputs. The goal is to pin down what groups of parameters are responsible for certain kinds of behavior. That might allow us to strengthen bits of the model responsible for good alignment and chop out the bad parts.
So Hank Green is right now talking about ways that companies are actually implementing to align these robots. And alignment, guys, is all about how to make the AI sort of work in the way that you want. Now, the issue that this whole question comes of is, should the government really be more involved in the way AI models are trained? Should there be actual laws, legalities, boys, big word, in our constitution that make it so that these people, these companies that have access to all these models, all these compute power, can just create things that make our lives a lot harder, make living a lot more dangerous. We don't talk about how AI can actually kill people because we aren't there yet. Guys, in like 10 years from now, I wouldn't be surprised if some dumbass train an AI model to actually cause harm. Some terrorist group use AI to find a way to make the best or like the most efficient terrorist attack. This technology can be used to promote so many bad things, and now we're only seeing the good things that can come out of it. But as soon as you take your mind out of the gutters of the AI coding and the AI technology and making your job easier and people getting fired, you see that a literal bum named Levi can grab ChatGPT and says, "Hey ChatGPT, how do I do this really bad thing extremely efficiently and I don't get caught?" And then Levi is going to trust the AI and go and do that. So should we have the government looking into these things that are being pushed to the public? And I first want you guys to actually see how these companies are sort of making the AI more aligned in their eyes, and then see kind of what they're doing to test these things.
Things like answer your questions with a friendly tone. There's a secret ingredient to training it on top of feeding it lots of data. It's called alignment. Basically, alignment is about getting the AI's output on the same page with the values and standards its coders want. Companies want their AIs to give useful, truthful, and predictable outputs when you ask them for a nautical rhyme that you can say to Bobby. On the other hand, AIs shouldn't give in to a request for how to build a bioweapon.
Think of it this way. You have one computer and another computer. This computer knows all the right answers that humans want. Then you have this other computer that is there to be the mean AI to generate things. This AI is going to generate stuff for this AI, and this AI is going to discriminate what's being generated to make sure it's aligned with humans. Boom, boom, boom. You do that for a lot of time, this AI is going to learn to appease this AI. Hence, it gets trained to be aligned. All right? That thing though can be a lot trickier because you can now have AI models whose goal is to just appease this other AI that humans sort of train to look for things that humans like. They just want to be pleasers. They don't really give you the right answer. Their goal is to always please you, and that leads to a whole sort of problem. The fact that we're seeing these models cheat test just to appease the discriminator is very concerning. And these models are dealing with high dimensional data. So this is data with like a lot of X, Y, Z, B, Q. You only know 3 dimensions right now, right? But imagine 1,000,000,000,000 dimensions. That's how many ways an AI can see one word or one input. And there's so many ways it could generate things based on kind of what you want from it. This technology is insane. If you have 1,000,000,000,000 parameters like what ChatGPT is using, as a human, even as a company, you don't know what the actual output of your model is going to be. You almost don't know how to even control that, because the computation that's going on is so above our mental capacity, bro. We cannot think in the trillionth dimension, but that is how AI models are generating things to you. That's why these hallucinations, we don't even understand what they are. And hallucinations are basically when the AI give you an answer that doesn't make sense. But how are we to know that answer doesn't make sense if the AI is thinking in like 1,000,000,000th of the dimension that you think in? It's insane, and we are actually losing control of this technology. You're gonna have more and more companies create more and more powerful AI systems just to profit. And when we create more and more of these systems, guys, we don't get the opportunity or just the time to really look at what we are improving or what we're turning these things into. And then when we get to robotics, that's when it becomes scary, because AI can now actually interact with the physical plane. It's insane. I love AI. I'm an AI application specialist with Penn State. That's why I can speak on this topic, man. What do you boys think? Is AI actually out of control? Is it? Is it not? Peace out. Bye bye. Mwah.